Hi, and welcome to Shelley's Everyday Prepping Adventures. I'm glad you've come back to check out my channel. Today I'm down in my grooming shop. I'm getting ready to groom. It's about 20 minutes after 8. I think this is July 25th, Monday. So, done a lot of soul searching about things that are going on in the world, and I have actually decided, I've chosen not to live in fear. It would be so easy to live in fear. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to live my life the way I want to live my life, and I'm going to prepare as I'm doing it. So I told you that I was starting a dog treat bakery business, and I'm working on that. So I'm looking forward to the future and I'm not ignoring the things that are going on. I'm just putting them aside because I need to do that for my mental health. So I'm putting them aside. Last weekend, we went up to Pennsylvania, about 3 hours from where I'm at, and we camped. We took our dogs and we camped with my daughter for the weekend, and that was a lot of fun. It was very hot. What I noticed while I was up there, we did go to the Walmart there, and being a farmer, I looked at the crops. So here where I'm at, we have gotten a lot of rain. I joked with my husband the other day, I get up, I look out the window, all I see is this lush green, and it's just growing so fast that you can't keep up with it. He has to mow the yard 2 or 3 times a week. It's insane. And I'm not bragging about that. I'm just making a statement. It's crazy. Matter of fact, I would like to have a little break in the rain. We're going to get some more today. So, anyway, my garden's doing well. We went last night when we got home and we picked everything, cucumbers and zucchini and things like that. And we're going to can some more. We're going to do some more pickles tonight. When he gets home from work. But as I was saying, we're up in Pennsylvania. I walked through the Walmart and I noticed the shortages that, basically, are everywhere right now. Just different things just weren't there. Right now I can't think of anything off the top of my head. The normal stuff is low. People seem, I don't want to say angrier. I want to say unhappier. I don't know the word exactly. But you know what I'm saying. So I checked that out, and on the way back to the campsite, my husband and I were looking at the crops. Now, our corn here is probably at least 8 foot tall, and it's tousled out. So it's maturing, and it looks great. The corn that we saw there in the fields was probably about, well, I'm 5'5", so it's probably between my knees and my hip high, and it was brown, and it was the leaves were rolled, and you might not understand what it means when the leaves are rolled, but that doesn't have enough water, so the leaves start to roll up. And on the way home, we decided to try to see where that line was, and the line between the rolled up corn and the good corn was about halfway between, like I said, we're 3 hours away, so it was halfway between where we were and my home. It's just amazing how Mother Nature works. So we came home, and then Sunday night I had to pick up a few things. So I'm driving, I pull into our local Dollar General. And I start to pull in this parking spot, and there was a car parked in the next parking spot over. Well, this guy got out. He was thin, tattooed up. He looked rough. I don't want to assume anything, but he looked really rough. He gets out, he stands in the parking spot that I want to park in. He starts to walk out of the parking spot. I start to pull up. He walks back into my parking spot, and says something to the person in the car, and he doesn't care. He knows that I'm there and I want to park. He doesn't care. So he goes in. I'm like, all right, I'm not going to be agitated about this. I'm just going to go in and get what I need. I just needed a loaf of bread for a friend. I was picking up something for a friend. So I ran in, I grabbed a loaf of bread. Only thing I had in my hand was a loaf of bread. There was a woman in front of me with a child in the cart, and she had a cartload of stuff, and there's only one register open. Now, me being me, if that had been me and I saw someone with just a loaf of bread, I would have let them go ahead of me. It's just a loaf of bread. Nope. She looked at me and she just was like, okay, whatever. And she's taking, really, it was kind of annoying. She took everything out one at a time and was talking to the kid. And okay, I'm take a deep breath. Everything's gonna be okay. So I breathe and I'm like, okay, this is crazy. They have a self-checkout there, but you have to use a card. I didn't want to have to use my card, but I wanted out of there. So I went and I used my card for this $1.50 loaf of bread. This $1.50 loaf of bread that used to be 99 cents. I paid for it and I left. I went out and I vented to my husband. He was sitting in the car keeping it cool for me. And he's like, we live in a small town and we never had a problem with people's attitudes, let's say. But more and more I've noticed that attitudes are just nasty and it's all about me and screw you. And if things get worse, when things get worse, that's going to get worse. And I'm just afraid it's going to be very ugly. So I am making preparations, like I said, so that I don't have to go out and be a part of that when it gets too bad. I was watching one of my shows, Popular Preparedness. A few days ago, he put out a video about living your life and seeing people. Take a vacation if you can, see the people that you need to see, and you don't know when you are not going to be able to see them, which has always been the case. I mean, honestly, I always felt that way. My dad raised me, to think about other people. What if today was your last day? It doesn't have to be a grid down situation. It doesn't have to be SHTF. It can be your personal SHTF. What if something happens today and that person that you love gets in the car and has a car accident, you never see them again, or something happens to you? Live every day as if it was your last. Be thankful for those around you. Be thankful for what you have, and try to enjoy every minute while you are preparing for what's to come. Try to balance it. I know balance is a difficult thing. I've had a difficult time with that myself. I told you in a previous video that I had lost a lot of weight, which I had, and I have, but I've started to gain some of it back, and I have attributed that to stress and the COVID thing. Everything just stressed me out. So I realized the other day I was grooming, and I was thinking about something, and I just got really upset. And the first thing I wanted to do was go eat. And of course, I don't want to eat something good. I want a cake or a honey bun or something crazy like that. So I'm like, I know I'm an emotional eater. I need to take a step back. Honestly, in the moment, it's difficult. It's difficult. So I am going back to the basics of how I lost the weight, and that was just counting some calories, still eating what I loved, but eating it in moderation, monitoring my mental state, and keeping track of that kind of stuff. So I might be posting that on here. I might be posting videos of me prepping my food for the week. It's a prepping channel. It's about prepping for anything and everything. SHTF, it's about prepping for weight loss. It's about prepping for The week, every Sunday night I prep for my week ahead so that I'm ready. I make sure my laundry is done. I make sure I put together my lunch, because even though my shop is just a few feet from my house, I don't always have time to run up there and make something. So I like to bring down a cooler or something with the food that I'm going to have for my lunch or my snacks or anything like that. So prepping means so many things, so many things. The other day, the belt on my dryer here in my shop broke. It's not the first time it's happened. And I didn't have a belt to replace it. And I'm like, duh, I'm a prepper. I'm supposed to be ready for this stuff. So what, and the belt, this dryer goes through a lot. I mean, we're drying towels for dogs. So the belt breaks a couple times a year. And every time it breaks, I have to wait, and I have to go down to the laundromat to dry the towels, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, why are you being so stupid? Prep. So this time, I have to order my belts through Amazon. So I ordered 2. And my thoughts are, I'm going to put one on, and when that one breaks and I have to put the other one on, I'll order 2 more. That way I'm always prepared. Now, I thought about ordering a bunch of them. They're only $8. But then I thought, well, if I do that, they could dry rot. Belts will dry rot. So I'm like, okay, we'll do 2 at a time. So that's what I plan on doing with that. So anyway, prepping. Prepping makes your life so much easier to be prepared. You try to look ahead and try to anticipate what may happen and prepare for that ahead of time. I know we can't always prepare for what's going to happen, but we can do our best, and then we can use our brains and improvise when the time comes. So I love all of you. I'm glad you're here. Please like, share, and subscribe, and keep prepping for everything in your life, everything. So I've got a quick story for you. Well, we were at the campground. Now, my daughter has 3 children. So she's like, I can't believe I run this circus. It's crazy. She's got 2 girls and a boy. But I was in the bathroom at the campground, and there was a little boy in there with his mother, and they were in the stall. And the conversation was interesting. And I had to laugh because I'm like, this is every mother. Every mother goes through these things. And I tried to, I explained that to Whitney, and she understands that. But the conversation was, the little boy said, I can't pee. And the mom said, well, you probably don't have to, so quit pulling on it. And I had to chuckle. I just had to chuckle. How do you prepare for that? I have no idea. That was just a funny story I wanted to share with you. I thought it was interesting. I never had a boy, so I don't know the trials of having boys. I had one girl. But yeah, so life is interesting. Try to take joy out of everything that you can, because they're trying to steal our joy from us. They're trying to take from us, and don't let them. Just don't let them take. Have a blessed day. Thank you very much.